The Honest Woodcutter. What you all have done in this situation, watch and think. Long, long ago, when forests were thicker, rivers were clearer, and people lived simple, honest lives, there stood a small village at the edge of a deep green forest. This village was quiet. No big houses, no gold palaces, only mud huts, tall trees, and the sound of birds greeting the sun. And in this village lived a man, not rich, not powerful, but very, very honest. People called him the Woodcutter. Every morning, before the sun fully rose, the woodcutter would wake up. He would wash his face with cold water, fold his hands, and thank nature for another day. He owned very little, one small hut, one simple meal a day, and one iron axe. That axe was old, its handle was worn, its blade was not shiny, but it was precious, because with that axe the woodcutter cut firewood, sold it in the village, and fed his family. He never stole, he never lied, he never cheated. If someone paid extra by mistake, he returned the money. If someone asked for help, he helped without expecting anything. People trusted him because honesty shone brighter than gold. One hot afternoon, the woodcutter walked deeper into the forest than usual. The sun was strong, the air was heavy, birds were silent. Near the forest flowed a deep river. Its water sparkled like silver, but its depth was dangerous. The woodcutter stood near the riverbank, cutting a thick tree branch. Chack, chack. Suddenly, slip! The axe flew from his hands. Before he could react, splash! The axe disappeared into the river. The woodcutter froze. His heart sank. That axe was his only tool, his only income, his only hope. He looked into the water. Too deep, too fast. He sat down and cried. Not loudly, not dramatically, but silently, like a man who didn't know how tomorrow would come. "What will I do now?" he whispered. "Without my axe, I cannot work. I cannot earn. How will my family eat?" Tears fell into the river. And then something unusual happened. The river began to glow. The water shimmered. Slowly, a divine figure rose from the river. She was the river goddess. Her voice was gentle. Her eyes were kind. "Why are you crying, woodcutter?" she asked. The man folded his hands. "Mother," he said humbly, "I lost my axe in this river. It is my only means of living." The goddess smiled softly. "I will help you," she said, but first she wanted to test his honesty. The goddess dived into the river. Moments later, she rose holding a golden axe. It shone like the sun. "Is this your axe?" she asked. The woodcutter looked. His eyes widened, but he shook his head. "No, mother, that axe is too precious. It is not mine." The goddess nodded and disappeared again. She returned holding a silver axe, bright, beautiful. "Is this yours?" Again the woodcutter replied, "No, mother, mine was simple iron." Finally, she dived once more and returned with the old rusty iron axe. The woodcutter's face lit up. "Yes, that is my axe." The goddess smiled brightly. "I am proud of you," she said. "You could have lied, but you chose truth." She placed all 3 axes before him. "Take them all," she said, "gold, silver, and iron. They are your reward." The woodcutter bowed. "Thank you, Mother," he said. "I will always stay honest." And with that, the goddess disappeared into the river. When the woodcutter returned home, his neighbor noticed the axes. After hearing the story, greed filled his neighbor's heart. The next day, he went to the river and threw his axe in on purpose. When the goddess appeared and showed him the golden axe, he shouted, "Yes, that is mine!" The goddess frowned. "You are dishonest," she said. She vanished. The greedy man lost everything. The honest woodcutter lived happily. The greedy man learned a painful lesson, and the river continued to flow, watching silently. Because remember, children, shining star, honesty may look simple, but it is the greatest treasure of all. Gold can be lost, silver can be stolen, but truth always comes back.